Pride Month, I decided to do a transgender flag inspired makeup look today. The transgender flag has 3 colors: baby pink, baby blue, and white. Where baby pink is the traditional color for baby girls, and baby blue is the traditional color for baby boys, and then that white is for those who are transitioning, who feel like they have neutral gender or are intersexed. The idea of it is that as you're transitioning or as you're coming out in your identity, that you're being reborn to this new and better version of yourself. As always, I'll have the product list listed in the description box below, which has all of the products I've used in all of my videos and whether they're fungal acne safe or not. So click below if you're interested in that. And if you're interested in recreating this soft pastel look, just keep watching. So today for primer, I thought I would actually go into this sugarcane derived squalane oil from The Ordinary. This isn't technically a primer, but because of how dry my face is, I wanted to see how the foundation laid over it and if it looked a little bit more dewy. Squalane oil is fungal acne safe and acne safe actually. It's good for regular acne because your skin actually naturally produces this, and although it might sound confusing to put oil on your face if your skin is already oily, this can actually help regulate your oil production because it'll tell your skin, hey, there's already enough oil on here, I don't need any more. But again, this might be a disaster under makeup, I have no idea. One thing that is important for fungal acne is to make sure that it is sugarcane derived, not olive fruit derived, just because it's less likely to trigger your fungal acne. But if you have regular acne, it really doesn't matter. I'm having a little bit of pilling, but I think that's because I put my moisturizer on like 3 hours ago. I'll have to try this again right after I wash my face and maybe without that. But this is a great way to achieve dewy skin but not have it be too much. I'm going to be using the Candid concealer as a foundation. If you guys could just let me know below or personal message me if you want to see a video on my skincare routine that is safe for fungal acne. Also, if you're interested, I can make a video about just good skincare in general that doesn't have the specific fungal acne safe requirements on it. If any of you are interested but don't have fungal acne, I can do a video on both. I do a lot of research, so I will be able to cite any information that I give you if you're interested, or give you some good places to do research for yourself. I found a new shadow primer that is fungal acne safe. It's the JCat All About That Base eyeshadow primer. This still isn't white like I like, but it is a nude shade, so we'll have to see how it works. A little of this actually goes a long way, and so far I like that it's way stickier than the other fungal acne safe eyeshadow primers I've used, so it's gonna help those eyeshadows stick better. As usual, I'm gonna set that with a nude shadow. This one's from my Mystery Ulta palette. I'm going to start this look off by going into the Blue Moon palette from Colourpop into the shade Moonlight up here. And with this, I'm going to start packing it on the outer corner, bringing it up to the middle of my eye. And we're going to focus this just on the outer half because we'll only be doing 2 colors. I think I got a brush that was a little too big for that, so I'm going to go in with a smaller brush now and continue doing that. We'll come back with that shadow later when we blend that out, but for now we're going to go into the Huda Beauty Neon palette. I don't think these have names, but we're going to go into this baby pink here at the bottom and pack this on in the inner half of the eye, barely overlapping that blue. Where they do start to overlap, you want to make sure not to do blending motions, but more just patting motions so that it diffuses that line between them, but it doesn't mix the colors and make a purple color. So notice here how on the inner corners, because of how light that pink is, you can't really tell where the eyeshadow stops and where your bare eyelid starts. I have a little trick for you. So you can just take a shade a little bit darker, probably about like a bronzer shade maybe, and lightly redefine your crease with this over that eyeshadow, which will help reshape your eye and bring that color more definition. You don't want it to be too dark, otherwise you'll be able to see it. What you're more trying to do is just create a shadow in your crease. Now you can leave it matte if you want, but because I love glitter, as you probably could tell, I'm gonna go into this Colourpop glitter gel in the Dark Sea from their Frozen collection. It has a little like stopper thingy so that it doesn't dry as quickly. I've never used this. It kind of stinks. They say it's fragranced, but like it still smells nasty. I'm gonna try it out with a flat brush. And because this has sort of a blue-purple shift, I'm gonna try to pack this in the middle between where those two colors lay. These are technically body glitters, so you want to be very careful with these around your eyes because of how chunky the particles are. I'm definitely not used to putting a shimmery shade right in the middle. I prefer it on the inner corner, but I think that looks cool. I don't think the light is even picking up how pretty this shade is. While that dries, I'm going to go into the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Concealer. I've been really liking this concealer because I feel like even though it's matte, it still doesn't make my under eyes look cakey and gross. And it still has some sort of moisturizing properties. I wonder how it'll look over that oil I used as a primer. I'm trying so hard not to make these funny faces on camera, but let me tell you, it's so much easier to get up in your eye when you're like this. Like, you know? Like try, when you're doing this, try keeping a straight face. I'm gonna go ahead and cover up a little bit of these bumps also with a little extra concealer. And because I use that oil as a primer, I'm not gonna set underneath my eyes just to see how it lasts and wears throughout the day on its own. Now for the white in the look, I'm gonna go into the Colourpop Liquid Liner in Graceland. I've never used this before, so I'm really hoping it performs well today. So other than a little bit of transfer on the applicator part, I think this applied really well. I'm going to try to wipe some of this off on a napkin and see if it works. This does seem to be working a little bit, but the applicator is a little bit stained still. I do really like how pointy this is, like you can get a really precise application. And I think in the future I probably would have put the eyeliner on before I put the glitter on, because right here in the middle where the glitter was, it did not sit the way I wanted it to. I'm going to go back in with the colors we did on top and do underneath my eye now. Now for blush, I'm going to go into the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the color Peach. I love how glowy and dewy this blush is, even though it's a powder. And it's not sparkly or anything, it's just dewy. Because I don't really like blushes and highlighters that have glitter in them. I'm going to follow that up with my NYX Born to Glow Loose Highlighter in Eternal Glow. You gotta be careful with this because a lot of powder comes out of the little hole thingies, and the holes are only on one side, so it's really hard to like sift it back in there without it getting all over the place. It just exploded all over my lap. You also want to be really careful though, because you barely want to pick anything up. I have recently ordered some new highlighters that I found that were fungal acne safe, or at least only have some caution ingredients, but they're really hard to find because most products like this that have like a shine have a lot of oils and other fungal acne triggers, so it's really hard to find any, but I have a couple in the mail coming soon. If your highlighter or blush ever gets too intense, you can just take the brush or sponge you used and kind of just dab over it, and it'll calm it down a little bit. And if that isn't working, you can go into a really fluffy brush that has nothing on it and just like swipe it until it calms down a little bit. Because this look is so pastel and stuff, I want to go into this Colourpop Just a Tint crayon in the shade Always Right. This isn't fungal acne safe, but I personally don't care whether my lip products or eyeshadows are fungal acne safe, but as long as my base is fungal acne safe is what's important to me. I don't mind using things that might trigger that in those spots. If you do have problems with that though, let me know in the comments and I can try to research some products that are fungal acne safe for those areas. I took my hair down before I realized that I didn't put any mascara on, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna be using the NYX On The Rise mascara. Although this isn't fungal acne safe, and there are a lot of mascaras that are fungal acne safe, this is one of those products that I don't really care about because it's not on my skin, and I just love the way this makes my eyes look. It's been my favorite mascara for a while. This did get a little bit clumpy where some of the glitter had gotten on my lash line, so I'd be careful with that glitter to keep it close to your lash line but not on your lash line, because otherwise your mascara is gonna get a little clumpy, because this normally isn't clumpy at all.